Peter here, aka Peter Freakout 10, bringing another episode of the Movie Review Show. The good movies are always reviewed. Okay, back in our movie review today. And we're continuing the first month of Scream Fest. Okay, back into our movie review. It's time to open up another bag of tricks and treats with this review. Now, on today's episode, I'm going to take a look at a film that, if you're in the horror industry and you're a big horror fanatic, you obviously know this film. However, if you're one of those people who says yuck when you watch a horror film and has the tendency to take a barf bag with you and carry that barf bag out with you when you're done out of the movie theater with you, then you obviously don't like horror films and don't know this film. Yeah. But this was a film that I never bothered to watch because I remember seeing this cover at Blockbuster, and believe me, when I saw the cover, I said to myself, that looks like the stupidest movie ever. And believe me, I didn't read the back, I just saw what I saw on the cover, completely hated it, and just went to rent something else. But a few years later, I've gone to that age where I now like cheesy B horror and have gone on to view films in a much better perspective than how I viewed them in the past. So I was willing to check this film out again after I saw Blood Splattered Cinema's review of it and Booger Boy Meister's video back when he did videos called Horror Time Night of the Demon series. He did the series review of these films and said he enjoys them. So I decided I'd check it out too. And this is the newest version from Scream Factory. For those who don't know, Scream Factory now is taking films that were originally on VHS and putting them on DVD, mostly horror. I mean, they did do The Last Unicorn and port that to Blu-ray, but that's a different story. But they did the Nightbreed Director's Cut. They did Lords of Illusions. They are giving us The Guardian on Blu-ray, which I'm very happy about because I think that's a totally underrated movie. They're bringing us Serpent and the Rainbow on Blu-ray. Recently they gave us Shocker and The People Under the Stairs on Blu-ray. But yeah, they're a particular company that likes to bring us horror films that are long and forgotten, have been on VHS tapes long enough, and deserve another look at. And this is one of those films. And that film is none other than the cult classic Night of the Demons. Yeah. And, of course, it's a Blu-ray, so, of course, you're going to get the cool slipcover with the cool artwork. I love when Scream Factory does this. I love how they take, they make their own covers for the slipcover, and you open it up, you get the Say cover right here, or if you're old school and you want the old cover, you can put this cover in, because in the discs, the back cover of it, you can see that the same cover on the front is in there. I put in the old cover because I think it's old school, fashion-like, and I think it's really cool looking, and it completely fits the movie. But this is the new edition that just came out, and I'd say this is, if you want to see Night of the Demons, this is the best edition to get, because it has new commentary with director Kevin Titi and actors Kathy Podwell, Hal Havens, Bill Gallo, and effects artist Steve Johnson. Audio commentary with director Kevin Titi, executive producer Walter Jostin, and producer Jeff Jeffrey. New interviews with cast and crew, including director Kevin Titi, writer-producer Joe Augustine, and actress Linnea Quigley. Promo reel, video trailer, new theatrical trailer, TV and radio spots, still galleries, and much more. So you got a buttload on the DVD here, or Blu-ray, because it comes with both the DVD and a Blu-ray. So if you're one of those people who wants this edition, get this and get the Blu-ray array and keep the DVD. So, yeah. This is also the Unrated Edition, so as it says right there, that pretty much sums it all up. A complete unrated version with extra gore and violence. But enough on the DVD. Let's get on to the film. But Night of the Demons was a film made back in 1988. It was directed by Kevin Teedy, and this is a guy who directed the movie Witchboard, which later got another film called Ouija, which has a similar plot line to it, but I've never seen it, but I've heard terrible things about it, and with those terrible things, I'm not willing to see it, so, yeah, because it's a complete retread of Witchboard. And I wasn't all too impressed with Witchboard. I do have to agree with Matt from OCP Communications, or whatever you call it. I'll just call it OCP Communications. But to be honest here, this film, I gotta be honest, I think this is Kevin Teedy's best film. I think it's better than Witchboard. I think this is the one where he pretty much comes in and gives it a unique feel, and I think that this is probably the best demon film out there next to Demon Knight. But anyway, I'll get to why I like this film later. The film stars William Gallo, who you might remember from Crash. I never see Crash, I don't know his character. You got Amelia Kincaid playing Angela, Kathy Podwell from Dallas, and Jill Terashita from Sleepaway Camp 3. Never seen Sleepaway Camp 3 in a while. I might go back and rewatch that film. It looks pretty good. And Scream Queen Linnea Quigley, who has made appearance in a lot of horror films and TV stuff. She was in that horror film Chainsaw Hookers, which I don't intend on seeing. She was also in Return of the Living Dead, Pumpkinhead 2, the list goes on and on. She has gone on to become the Scream Queen. Certainly not the best, but attractive. And I have said before, yes, hot, but Daniela Harris is the Scream Queen to me. But as I said, this is Kevin S. Teedy's best film. I think it's his most unique film. And I'll get into why I like this film later. But the basic plot of the movie is basically this. We meet these kids on Halloween night. Well, particularly this girl named Judy on Halloween, played by Kathy Podwell, who is about to go to a dance with her boyfriend. And he immediately says, "Oh, forget the dance. Let's go to this party at this funeral home." And the minute I heard that, I was sort of like, why would you throw a party in a funeral home? What are you going to do with the funeral home when it's there? You're going to dance around in it with the dead bodies? You're going to be like that scene in, The Watch? You're going to be like that scene and just dance around and be like with the bodies and be like, oh, is this fat guy here going to perform necrophilia on the corpse? Because that's what he looks like to me. But yeah, they're all. She decides to go along with the party along with her two other friends. This one Asian girl going out with this other guy, and there's these other kids going there. Like you have this kid with the pig nose on him. You got this one got black-eyed. He's in a pirate costume, and you have this guy Sal, played by William Gallo, who's also going to the party, and the party is being hosted by a girl named Angela, who is considered to be the outsider of the school, and everybody looks at her as a freak, and she just isn't respected because she's obsessed with the paranormal stuff, and just really goes all out on it, and to her, Halloween is like Christmas to her, as the boyfriend put it, of Judy. So, and the only friend she has is this girl, Suzanne, played by Linnea Quigley. Might see right there. But anyway, they all go to the house, and they're all having fun and everything. and they decide to play a game where they look into a mirror and they accidentally unleash this demon that possesses one of the kids and starts turning the other kids into demons. So now Judy decides that, and the pirate kid, I'm just going to call him the pirate kid because it doesn't say the actor's name, but they all decide they're going to fight back and actually survive from the demons. In what place, you may ask? In the town? Well, in the funeral home, because that's the best place to be when surviving from demons. Will they be able to survive from the demons, or will they be the next one getting their tongues pulled out? Now, Night of the Demons. The first time, despite me saying that I watched this film on... Actually, I didn't say that. Despite me saying that I looked at the film when I was at Blockbuster, I remember I saw a little bit of this on TV because I was watching the film, I started to remember a time when I was little. I saw this on TV, and I absolutely hated it. I thought it was stupid. I just did not get into it. But as I said, my personification on movies has changed. So, of course, now I like this film, but I remember not enjoying it, and I just really did not see me enjoying this in the future, and I thought a lot of other people have hated this film too, but that's just not the case, because there are a lot of people who enjoyed this film, and I decided I'd go back and watch it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun movie. I think I have to itch my nose every time I do a review, but I thought it was a really fun movie. I think it's probably one of those films that I think is definitely underrated. It's definitely up there with The Guardian, and it's definitely a movie that I think goes all out and takes the brake pads off itself to at least make a fun horror movie. Whereas horror films today, we have demon-possessing films, all of which go for a PG-13 route. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I think is a complete and utter piece of poop. But this is probably the best demon film. And even though the story, I will admit the story is cliched, and it starts off kind of as a cliche, like... Because the first thing that comes out of it is definitely the characters. The characters come off as really cliched, and you really are like, oh my god, I think I've seen these before type of characters, but they quickly become more than that. You start to care more about them with these characters. I mean, sure, a lot of them have personalities you've seen a bajillion times before, but I do like the fact that they don't use it in the story as much as like some like stupid slasher films have in the past. Well, after a few films that I have seen that are just so generic, they're just plain awful, like Home Sweet Home and Camp Blood, which are all pieces of trash. Don't even bother watching those. But this, I like the fact that they don't use the characters, they don't make the cliched parts so important to the story, whereas some horror films back then, they have to be like, oh, they're cliche, that means they have to be so much involved in the story, whereas this film, I think, throws all that cliched feeling out, and I think, to me, focuses more on the demons and the people trying to survive, and I think actually steps up the game a bit with the whole idea. Yeah, but not only its characters, but its story, too. The story I thought was really unique. And the one thing I do like about the film is the fact that it's set in a funeral home. I thought that scene was actually really unique. That setting, too, I also thought was really well done. I think it's very well designed. The production was cool. You could tell Kevin Estini was trying to be unique. And I thought the environment was really cool. It was definitely creepy. It was eerie. and it's definitely somewhere you don't want to be in a situation like that. And I like what Kevin Estini was able to do with this film, make you feel like you're in an environment that you don't want to be, while also it doesn't make the matter much better that there's people being possessed by demons. But the acting is pretty good too. I like Amelia Kincaid as Angela. I thought she pulled off the part really well, and I like I like at the beginning of the film you see her as a nice girl, but she's weird, and you see that there's something wrong with her, and you don't want to. And while you do want to hang out with her, you still feel that weirdness. But yeah, I thought she did a good job. When she becomes the demon, you're like, whoa. Because when you see the makeup on her, which I'll get to later, you're like, I knew there was something wrong with her. I mean, you could see it in her. You could see how weird she was, and you could sort of see that there's something in her that you don't expect to happen. And when she becomes the demon, you're like, wow. And I think Amelia Kincaid pulls off her part really well, and she definitely gives her a creepy, sinister voice. Where are you going? The party's just begun. Can't do that voice. But I thought she did a really good job. The other actors do their part really well. Linnea Quigley does well. William Gallo does a good job playing a jerk. And another thing I do like about the film is that while it does have a jerk in it, the jerky dude actually tries to become more of the hero of the story. And I thought that was actually really unique. And just when you think this guy is going to play hero, he dies. And that's something that I don't think a film was able to get across before. I mean, granted the guy was a jerk, but you still care for the guy, and when the boyfriend comes along, you're like, and he reveals his jerky side because the boyfriend becomes the jerk, and I'm like, wow, and I thought that twist was actually really unique. So yeah, the film does a great job with its characters, and just the way they present them to us is different. It's definitely different from what I've seen before, and it's definitely unique with how they've presented them. And the actors do a great job pulling them off. But let's talk about what we want to talk about. What did we come to this review for? The demons. Heck yeah. When everybody becomes a demon, heck, they are so awesome looking. The effects on them are awesome. Linnea Quigley becomes one, and when you see her become one of the demons, I was in awe with how awesome the effects were. This is not even Stan Winston. This is Steve Johnson, who I don't know anything about, but he does a great job with the effects. The effects on them are creepy looking, and the film is definitely bloody too, especially with this unrated cut. There's a lot of gore. Like, there's a scene where Linnea Quigley character, she puts her hands in the eyes of one of the characters. I cannot believe how bloody this film was. This film definitely moves at a fast pace, and when they come in, they kill in some of the most brutal ways I've probably seen in a film. And this is a really graphic movie. I was surprised by how graphic it was. Well, a lot. I shouldn't say I was surprised, because there were a lot of horror films that were graphic around the time, but they look so realistic. No words can describe how awesome these effects are. They're just so well done, and I believe they stood the test of time. Is it have stood the test of time or haven't stood the test of time? I don't care, but these effects kick butt, and anybody who's thinking about making a horror film, because I have heard that there's this one horror film coming based on a German folktale that's going to be directed by the guy who did Trick or Treat, Rump something. I'd get my phone right now, but I don't want to ruin the review. But that film looks awesome. I hope to God that they go back to old school gore with that film, because it looks like it's taking the old school route, that film. Because you can tell by its poster, by its Definitely buy the poster because it looks like hand painted and it looks very cool. I think that films today, despite that film, which looks awesome, I think films today should look back at films like this and actually get an idea of why people love these movies. Not just because, oh, the effects have gone up a notch. This is what people want to see. And these effects prove that movie making is more unique back then than it is today. I'm sorry to say it, but there are a lot of good horror films out there, like Cabin in the Woods and definitely Sinister, which I'll be reviewing soon, but none of them, I think, hold the test of time like this film. Like, effects in a film like this have. But yeah, the film is very well done. It's definitely really atmospheric. I like the characters. I think the cast is well done. I also really like the black guy, and I thought he was hilarious. It's definitely bloody too. I like the music in it too. The Halloween feel I actually thought was really cool too. I also really enjoyed. This is something that I haven't really brought up before. I really enjoyed when the film opens up. It gives like this unique opening credit where you see like animated ghosts and like a Halloweenish like cartoon that you would see in like, I don't know, like I don't know, any animated cartoon out there that revolves around Halloween, but they use it in this film. It's very unique too, because it fits the tone of the movie and it doesn't over exaggerate itself by being different. Like, it doesn't come like at a thing where you're like, what the heck? Like, you don't jump between like being like this cliched like serious thing and then move it in with mostly comical horror. But this film does it really well because the intro sets the tone really well. So yeah, this is to me a very worth watching horror film that I think is definitely takes the demon element and I think does something different with it. With its wonderful acting, its effects, its music, and its direction by Kevin S. Tinney. Night of the Demons is a horror film that you do not want to witness on Halloween. And if you're gonna watch the film, definitely get the Blu-ray version from Screen Factory. Definitely an awesome version. If you want to go for the features, or if you're all around a fan of the movie, I definitely pick this up. So, yeah, and the transfer on the Blu-ray is awesome too. So, definitely a great film, and it's definitely one you want to have with you on Halloween. So, overall, I give Night of the Demons a 9 out of 10. Now, why am I giving it a 9 and not a 9.5? Because there is one problem with it. It's pacing. Well, I wouldn't say it's pacing. It's just the beginning of the movie is slow, and it just drags on and on and on, and you have to wait a long time before the demons actually show up. That's exactly how I felt about this film. But overall, Night of the Demons is a great film, and you definitely want to have this with you on Halloween, and it's definitely a very well done film. And the film was so good, they actually made 2 sequels to it, which I'm definitely picking up for this Halloween. I'm definitely going to tell you guys how I feel about them, seeing as how I love this film. Really excited to see those. But that's my review on Night of the Demons, and next time for video game time, I'm going to do a review on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Step out of the Halloween thing for a second and review that game. And then for another episode, I'm going to do The Fly, and then The Blob. Really excited because I'm going to watch those films tonight. Well, the first Fly, and don't know about the second one, but first Fly and The Blob, definitely going to review those, and I'll tell you guys what I think of those. I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think of Night of the Demons in the comments below. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.